Hello everyone, my name is Marisol Capetillo. I am the CEO of Bears Technology. We are a company that designs, develops, and deploys full-scale IoT hardware and solutions. We are mainly focused on the industry, and smart factories and sustainability are our big areas of expertise. Our motivation to do this is the skill set that we have as a team, which is a mix between industry experience and also very strong technical, electronic, and software skills. With this, we are convinced that we can make a real change in the world, and why not in the universe, and that's why we are doing this. When we started to work with IoT, we immediately realized that there are a lot of skills needed in order to deliver what the customer needs, right? Not only hardware and software expertise, but also data science, communication, etc. So there is a full ecosystem with expertise in many different things. And in order to be able to really transform and apply Industry 4.0, we need to be hand-to-hand with all of the members of this ecosystem. After we started to work with the ecosystem and looking at the needs of the industry, the main challenges that we found were to introduce the actual technology itself. You know, there is a good anecdote for Bill Gates that says that in the 80s he was pitching to VCs and etc., and that nobody would believe him that you could have benefits, economical benefits, from implementing software, right? So what happens now is that we are 30 years later, we are having the same issue, but with hardware. So the main challenge is to convince again, or to be able to demonstrate to the market that in order to transform and to have benefits with the IoT technology, you need hardware, you need software, and you need a complete solutions that involves many things. So that evangelization, I would say, is what has been the greatest challenge. When we started in the business, we started by trying to solve a problem, and the problem was actually in distribution pipelines and the corrosion, right? The need was to monitor remotely to be able to plan maintenance and reduce downtimes. So what we realized at the time, and this was 2016, what we realized was that there was no available hardware to be able to transmit this data in a cost-effective way and with something that was not the size of a living room, right? We kind of searched a lot, and we realized that that was something that we needed to create ourselves, right? That is when our hardware was born, basically. And from there, of course, in order to read all this data, to take decisions and do other things, you need software. What we have found out while building this company is that we needed many things, right? Not only the electronic skills that we had as a team and the industrial expertise, that mostly was useful for finding out all that we need to do, right? So we needed marketing, we needed a good design for our products. We needed also to assure the quality of what we do, because we want to have world-class products and not less. The most important discovery, I would say, that we had is that the distribution channels, in order to make things happen, are key, right? So we have worked a lot finding out the correct partnerships, and that is what the ecosystem is for. So we have find out integrators, distributors, communication companies, software companies, among many others, right? So together we can all distribute what we do and do the best job for the customer, right? Without that, it would take a long time and also a lot of resources to be able to be recognized in the market. One of the first partners that we had in this ecosystem was Sigfox. We actually started in 2016 to put out in the market our development board, and the commercial director of WND, Pedro, contacted us, and from there a very good relationship started, right? We talked about the possibilities of using Sigfox as a communication network for our solutions. After that, we were invited to the first worldwide Sigfox fair in Prague. And one of our first AAA global clients was actually discovered there, right? So it was a great opportunity for us, great exposure, and we have grown that relationship. We have found more and more opportunities coming from Sigfox and WND, not only in Mexico, but also in Latin America. So it's for sure a before and after this partnership started. When we started our partnership with Sigfox and WND here in Mexico, we were pretty young in the ecosystem. So Sigfox has been like a big brother for us in this IoT journey. They have brought up to us all the experience that they had in the deployments in Europe, but also a lot of connections and networking and potential clients that they bring to the table on the ecosystem. Once we learn about all the capabilities of Sigfox, what we can do with it and the advantages it has, we immediately decided to integrate it to our solutions. And we found out that it is incredibly friendly for us hardware designers to implement. So that's a big plus, right, on a communication network and company. And what we also have seen about Sigfox as a challenge is it has to do with the deployment, right? It has to do with going out there in the market with the customers and besides taking IoT as a new technology, we are also taking a new communication network, right? And that is always hard to digest. And that, I would say, has been the greatest challenge that we have had with Sigfox. But once we demonstrate that it works like charm, they love it. If anyone wants to be an entrepreneur on IoT, what I would recommend is that you got the skills that you need, a good team, do some research. Please don't go and do things that are already done. There are many new things to do. And there are opportunities in many areas of the ecosystem, right? So this market is still young, so we need a lot more of IoT entrepreneurs to join. One of the things that I've seen while being in this business and that I would not recommend doing is to be isolated, right? We are not anymore in a world where one company does everything and we keep it secret. So we have to join partners and join an ecosystem and work together to deliver to the customer, right? That please don't isolate. Another thing that I've seen a lot is people with great ideas going from one competition to another competition to another competition, and not actually finding clients to sell and to solve their problems, right? And that is not going to help. The last thing that I would strongly advise is to maintain ethics in the business, right? This is a new business and data shall bring transparency. So that is one of the things that I would recommend to keep in mind all the time. In order for a device to be IoT, you need to be able to connect people or things, and also to transmit data through internet, right? So that is the basic and main sense of an IoT device, but you need more than that in order to have something that will work in the market. You need to take into account in design the battery usage, that is key. You need to take into account what are the customer needs, and that the device that you are making is actually solving something, not because you think it does, because of someone else which will buy it, recognize it. Another thing that it's very important is that the solution or the device that you do has to be strong enough to work for the environment out there in the field, in the real world. In the lab, most of things work fantastically, right? But once you put them out, it's not the same. So there are many different environments, and you must design and manufacture according to that. One of the most important things in the business that we are doing is the data. We have to take care of the data by providing security since the moment that we gather it from the client until we deliver it to him. Either if it is in a cloud, in a platform, or to a data science algorithm, data cannot be compromised in any part of the way. The IoT ecosystem in Mexico has grown a lot in the last 2 years. And what we can expect in 2019, 2020 and ahead is to explode. We see ourselves, Verse Technology, as a leading company and a leading part of the ecosystem to develop it even more in the coming years. The next 5 years for Verse Technology are going to be of growth. We are going to see commercialization not only in Mexico but in other countries. We are going to see flourish products like Titan, for example, which is going to be a really hard time to the PLCs. So this is going to be new technologies for the industry that it's going to change the way factories connect and monitor their data, right? And also control it. We are going to see a breakthrough on sustainability, particularly on water management, because we will actually be able to have the result of all of the work that we are able to do by using solutions like Kraken in distribution pipelines and also in the monitoring of disposal waters. Please come and join us to the Verse Technology webinar. We are going to talk about the IoT projects we are working at now, but also what is coming for us and for the industry.